Hey guys, it's Matt Metagross here with you for a Broken League Viabilities Mon. So here we are bringing Tapu Lele at you today. So Tapu Lele is a very interesting Mon in League format. It's somewhat versatile because it can be a breaker or a late game cleaner. However, it can't really do much besides that because its entire job is come in, click Psychic, or coverage move for whatever wants to switch into Psychic. So let's start looking at Tapu Lele and see how it stacks up in League format. So, first things first, the specs set. On any specs set, I'd suggest running Focus Blast, Shadow Ball, and Moon Blast, or just 4 coverage moves in general, depending on your opponent's team. However, Psyshock Psychic is always an interesting thing that you should look at in leagues. First, you want to look at your opponent's prep. Do they like to bring Assault Vest Mons? And do they have a great Assault Vest user against Tapu Lele? If they prefer to bring Assault Vest Mons a lot, then I'd run Psyshock. If not, then look at their average defense stat. If they have a higher average special defense, then run Psyshock. If their physical defense is higher on average, then run Psychic. So, next is the Scarf set. The Scarf set is very good at cleaning. It's good at what it does. However, it can't break a hole like the other Lele sets do. So, what this set basically is designed to do is 95 speed is a very good speed tier for a Scarfer. It outspeeds, I believe, all Mons that are legal in League format, and every Mon that's not scarfed or speed boosted besides Deoxys Speed. And anyways, HP Fire. This thing does have trouble with steel types sometimes. Depending on the steel type, you want to run Focus Blast or Hidden Power Fire, but you always want to have one. Shadow Ball to break Psychics, and Moonblast to break Dark types. That's the very good thing about Tapu Lele's dual typing. Any type that's the main type that wants to switch in on your Psychic moves, Dark types, can't because of your secondary stab. So it does end up getting hard-walled by some steel types, which is a point as to why I don't think this thing is broken. However, the fact that it is a special attacker, so it could take advantage of things like Hidden Power Fire, and it could take advantage of the move Focus Blast, does not help its case. Next, we're going to look at the Calm Mind set. Now, I wouldn't suggest running Calm Mind unless you're running Z Focus Blast, because Z Focus Blast is a nuke button. So you bring it in, click Calm Mind on the first switch out, because say they have 2 good switches. Say they've got a Rachi and a Heatran, you'd run Hidden Power Ground. A Jirachi and a Mega Aggron. So you're going to run both Shadow Ball instead of Moonblast here, and your Z Focus Blast. So you set up the +1 on the switch out, see what they want to bring in. Z Focus Blast, get rid of the Aggron. Shadow Ball, get rid of the Jirachi, and all of a sudden you have a clean slate to just sweep your opponent. This set, you can run bulk or speed. Unfortunately, Tapu Lele gets no form of recovery, not even rest, so it does hinder its ability to stay around long game as a Calm Mind user, but you can run Leftovers to get some longevity. You can run Terrain Extender to make sure it can stay in and keep clicking that Psychic longer. And you can also run max speed if you want to outspeed it. Or not necessarily max speed, but do a very heavy speed creep if you're looking for a clean with this set. So moving into, like I did the first time, my 3 sets for the 3 teams, and then Tapu Lele is interesting because no team outright loses to Lele. So what I'm just going to do is kind of show you guys how how to prep against Lele against a certain team and show you why it's not broken because of the way you're forced to prep with it. So, starting off, we have the Toronto Blue Flares and the matchup Lele has against them. Now, if you're looking at it, Lele almost has to run Scarf because there's certain threats it needs to outspeed, and it needs 4 coverage moves no matter what. So, Moonblast, Psy Shock for stab because AJ has a much higher SPDF on average than physical defense. Shadow Ball to hit his 2 psychic types, and Hidden Power Fire to hit his very powerful steel type. Moving on to the New York Shelmets, we have another Scarf set. Now he has Skarmory, so Thunderbolt does hurt that Skarmory more than any other move that Tapu Lele gets, other than Thunder, obviously. Psychic, because he does have a lower average SPDF than PhysDef. And Shadow Ball hits his Psychic type, and Focus Blast for his Steel and Dark types. And finally, we get into the Surrey Glice Scorchers, which Lele only needs 3 moves to hit. HP Ground, Moonblast, Psychic, which means it can run a status Z move or any other status move that it wants. I opted to go for the Z Safeguard because it's not fast enough. That's Lele's simple problem. You look at the 3 sets I've given you. Now, against the Glice Scorchers, late game, Lele will almost always be able to clean late game against that team. Because it gets the option of Z Safeguard, which means it can switch up its moves and still have the speed that it needs. However, you look at the other 2. It's not going to be able to break very well with the exception of the New York Shelmets where it gets to run Modest. Modest Lele hurts. If you are in a situation where you can run Modest, Lele becomes a potential breaker even though it doesn't get a damage boosting item. Whenever you're running Timid, you're losing so much of that. So, here, against the Blue Flares, Lele can clean, it cannot sweep. Against the Glice Scorchers, Lele might be able to sweep, but it cannot break. And Blue Flares maybe sweep depending on how he brings his team, but it definitely cannot break. So, if you want to draft Lele as a breaker, then you have to be able to be sure to draft certain things with it. Good speed control. Webs, a speed passer, if your league allows that. Some Tailwind users, a lot of Thunder Wave, preferably Prankster Thunder Wave, because the Lele needs to outspeed things in order to do its job. Additionally, if you want to get this thing as a cleaner, I'd pass on it because our last episode, Infernape, better late game cleaner because of the better speed. Greninja, whether it's Ash Greninja, Protean Greninja, Torrent Greninja, depending on your league. Now, odds are if they're allowing Lele, they're going to allow at least Ash Gren. And better Revenge Killer. So, Lele is a very good Revenge Killer and it's a very good cleaner. However, other things do that job better, as Lele is forced into Scarf when you want to be that. And as a wall breaker, Lele finds it hard to be able to function in that role because of its speed. Because in the age of Gen 6, everything began to learn how to throw trash for some reason. And now Gunk Shot is going to be brought every week against your Tapu Lele, and you're going to get nuked. So, yeah. What grade would I give Lele? I'll say an A- because it's going to be your S tier. It's going to be the most expensive mon in your draft in PPL style. It's going to be so highly priced, and it's not going to do the things you want it to do on a week-to-week basis. So that's my thoughts on Tapu Lele. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. This is all for discussion. This is Matt Metagross signing off, and I'll see you guys next time.